welcome to the Mindful Evolution Podcast. I'm Leah Drew, your host and mind-body healing guide. This podcast is for the awareness seeker ready to go deeper, create change, and feel more empowered over their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. My intention is to be a catalyst for you as we explore topics surrounding holistic health, mindset optimization, trauma healing, emotional intelligence, and much more. I'm so grateful to have you here and to support you as we evolve in mind, body, and spirit. Let's breathe in and out. Now, let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to dive into the opportunities for healing that exist within relationships. And first, I want to address the fact that every single one of us are walking around this earth with a backpack. And this backpack is full of bricks that consist of past experiences, past trauma, ancestral trauma, that consist of feelings, emotions, things that might be kind of icky sometimes. It's also filled with good things too, but the weight that we feel normally comes from those things that we carry from the past that are icky or that don't really feel that great. And relating, regardless of whether you are relating with a partner in an intimate experience, in a friendship, whether you're relating in a business relationship, whether you're relating in a familial relationship, that relating is always going to bring things up for us. And oftentimes, it might lead ourselves to reach into the backpack and grab one of those bricks and hold it, really. And this is a really beautiful opportunity for you to bring awareness to what it is that's coming up for you. And so when you're relating, for example, in a partnership, oftentimes that relational experience may trigger something in you. It may bring things up from the past, maybe with other relationships. And it might lead you to get in your head, to become stressed, to have anxiety, to feel overwhelmed, and sometimes to feel other emotions like sadness or grief or anger. And the reason why this happens is because our minds are programmed to protect us and prevent us from reliving the past experience over again. And so emotions and things are going to come up because you are being reminded of this past experience that's now acting as almost an alarm or maybe like a yellow flag for you to recognize where you're at, what's happening, and your brain's trying to help you by protecting you as to not relive that same experience that may have caused you pain in the past. And this is a really amazing opportunity for you to opt into healing, because as you continue to move through these experiences through relational dynamics, you have the opportunity to opt into more healing, to opt into more awareness, to bring forward your voice, to communicate, to have conversation around what's coming up for you, whether that be with yourself or with someone else, the other person involved in the relational experience, or maybe it's just a friend that can hold space and listen to you. But this gives you the opportunity to look at the past experience that's happened and to work through it so that your mind is not constantly in this place of fear, so that's not constantly in this place of trying to protect you. And when you can bring down those walls of protection, it opens your heart. It allows you to opt in and go deeper into relationship. It allows you to soften. It allows you to be seen. It allows you to be heard. It allows you to step more into your most authentic self. And so I have a personal experience of this week that I would love to share with you. And over the last 6 weeks or so, I have been relating with a new individual. This is more of a romantic partnership. And as we continue to meet each other and go deeper into connection, what I've noticed is there are some feelings and some things coming up for me around two of the past relationships that I have been in. And they haven't felt good. And I've noticed that I've been a little bit triggered by it. Not majorly triggered. I'm not in the state of like fight or flight all the time, but I've been noticing all these thoughts come up, and I've been noticing these heart walls that are up around my heart, trying to protect my heart from pain, from being injured, from being hurt again. And I also noticed a past pattern come up from another relationship that I had with someone else. And in that dynamic, I wasn't seen, I wasn't heard. I was led to feel like anything that I brought to the table in conversation was heavy and was problematic and really wasn't welcomed there. And in that dynamic, I didn't feel chosen. I didn't feel honored. I wasn't received, and this person didn't allow me to receive that. And so that ended up leading to a whole lot of pain, which I noticed starting to come up as I'm relating with this new person in my life. And instead of going into panic mode, instead of being with all this pain around it, instead of being with these old belief systems that were coming up for me, and instead of leaning into and holding on to this fear around this idea of a committed relationship, I took a step back and I stepped into the observer mode, and I allowed myself to look at it, to look at what was coming up for me. And I allowed myself to explore what exactly it was in a quote unquote committed relationship that I was finding safety in, or that I was gravitating towards, and for what reason. And as I sat with these things and I sat with the beliefs, and as I explored my feelings and emotions and experience in my physical body, I had the opportunity to recognize that this experience that I am currently having is nothing like my past experiences. In all reality, all my needs are being met. It feels really good. In all reality, this experience that is allowing me to be received and allowing me to receive this other person is not bringing up those same triggers that I felt and experienced in those past relationships. It might be bringing up the triggers, but it's not the same. And so I got to sit with being in the present moment. And I got to opt in to looking at the things coming up now that are reminding me of things from the past. And I got to rewrite the story. I got to reframe the fact that this experience is totally different. It's bringing me safety. It's bringing me ease. There's beautiful communication, and it feels good. And I realized that thinking about this idea of a committed relationship pulls me into the future. And when I go into the future, I gain a lot of stress. It makes me anxious. And oftentimes it brings a feeling of restriction to me. And that's something that I don't enjoy, is that feeling of restriction. And so I got to remind myself to continue to come back into the present, to continue to check in with myself in the present moment. How do I feel right now? How is this experience right now supporting me or benefiting me? How is it not? And I get to continue to check in to the present moment to see how it is right now. Instead of worrying about the future, instead of worrying about the past, I get to be here and I get to be now. And I get to recognize that this feels good and that this is nothing like what happened in the past. Because your brain will keep looking for what's happening in the present, and it will continue seeking to see if what's happening in the present is what happened in the past. And you get to use that awareness to continue coming back, to continue being present, continuing to recognize exactly where you are right now is what is going to help you opt into greater healing. Continuing to recognize how what you're experiencing right now is different from what happened in the past is going to continue to allow you to opt into greater healing. And so I invite you, next time something comes up in a relational dynamic, whether that be an intimate partner, whether that be family, work, friendship, whatever it is, when you feel triggered, when you feel resistance, when you feel emotions, when you feel something in your body come up, instead of grabbing onto it and following it and allowing it to completely take over your experience, I invite you to be with it. I invite you to look deeper into it, to understand where those feelings first arose. Where did those feelings come from? When did you first experience that? What was the situation? What were the circumstances? And why? Why did you feel that? Why were you experiencing that? Dive into that to the best of your ability, and then look at where you're at right now. Look at what you're experiencing right now. Recognize and understand how and why what's coming up for you may be connected to the past, and why your brain might be trying to protect you by bringing these feelings back up. And I also invite you to look at how is this experience different from the past. And the last thing I want to leave you with here is looking at the thing that's happening in the present moment and recognizing how is it supporting you? How does it feel good? Why does it feel good? What is it bringing you? And taking a look at how it's supporting you and feeling safe, feeling at ease, feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling understood. And when you can look at these things, you can start to rewrite the story from the past and recognize that you can be totally in the present, right here, right now. And this current experience is not the past. And if you do find things that are reminiscent or similar to the past that don't feel good, you get to choose to make a change. You get to choose to set boundaries. You get to choose to communicate, and you get to choose how to make this experience different. That's what I got for you today. I'm sending you lots of love. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today and for continuing to opt in to your inner work. If you found value in this conversation, please share it on social media or with someone you know that values both healing and growth. And I'd also like to invite you to join the Holistic Healing Tribe. This is my private community full of self-healers who are on a mission to optimize their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Click the link in the show notes to join the tribe. And when you join, I'll send you my favorite things that have made the biggest impact on my health, my healing, and my growth. And finally, if you're anything like me and deeply care about seeing a more mindful approach to human evolution, please leave a review to help us reach more listeners and make a bigger impact on the world around you.